Catharsis was my final paper for Theater 2311W, writing for the stage and screen. The assignment was to create a 15-minute play or screenplay, a true feat considering the rest of the pieces we had written were all about 5 minutes, and that had been enough of a challenge. The writing of Catharsis showed me that I was capable of completing a finished, well-rounded play, something I had not previously thought myself capable of, which is troubling in itself, as I want to be a screenwriter. Prior to writing for the stage and screen, I had never written any sort of screenplay or play, so to have ended it with a fairly long play that got published is astounding. The play that I wrote is an extension of one I had previously written in the class, which made the challenge of making it 15 minutes even more difficult as the play already had a fully fleshed out plot. Trying to extend it without making it repetitive or boring was the biggest issue. I often found myself feeling as if I was just writing for the sake of putting words down. However, I am glad I chose to expand on this play because it brings a bit of horror into the theater world, a place it is not often seen. It was extremely fun to try to make a live piece creepy, as I love horror movies and want to see more horror plays. Another benefit of the extension was the ability to have a more well-rounded commentary on gender. I had not really had a message for the play when it was originally written. The prompt for it had been to think of a strange ritual some might do, and of course cathartic screaming was the direction in which my brain went. After starting to extend it, due to Professor Kristen Knight helping me edit it with her detailed notes and a real playwright's insight, I was able to add in a message that I am passionate about to this play. Originally, the father had the personality that the mom has now, and vice versa, but it seemed like it would make more of a statement to subvert what people would usually think of when they think angry parent. Besides the subversion of the father as the angry parent, I was able to comment on the internalized misogyny women often experience, which only further perpetuates the sexism women face from men. Catharsis also gets at the dynamics of a traditional straight marriage, with the mom as a submissive, dutiful wife and the dad as a domineering man. We had various rounds of revision, not only through Professor Knight, but also through the peer review workshop style of the class. My classmates would all have note cards on which they would write a question, something that popped about the play, and a what if. Through this process, I definitely began to appreciate the importance of sharing your work with others. My writing is a very vulnerable place for me, making it quite difficult to share it. But the opening of my work to new perspectives was what allowed it to truly grow. Through my peers' comments, I was able to see angles of catharsis I had not yet seen. The peer review side of the class was daunting at first, but it has helped me to have much thicker skin. Instead of seeing others' comments as criticisms against me, I can now think more mindfully about how I can best use their advice. I also realized as I re-examined the piece that catharsis also touches on my own struggles with mental illness and womanhood. I often find myself wanting to bottle in my own negative emotions, to only let the positive ones through. This is a very common feeling for women and those dealing with mental illness as I do. To not be portrayed as simply emotional and crazy, we have to work twice as hard to cover our emotions, even though this is detrimental to our health.